Hello guys! So due to demand, today I'm going to be showing you a flip through of my bullet journal. So bullet journaling. If you are not familiar with bullet journaling, it is kind of like a combination of a planner mixed with a journal, mixed with a scrapbook, a sketchbook. It can be kind of whatever you want. It's meant to help you plan out things, but also to reflect on yourself or reflect on your schedule or progress on your goals. Basically anything you want it to do, you can custom tailor it to whatever you want. So let's get started. This is my first bullet journal. I learned about bullet journaling back in December, and I decided to start a bullet journal for the new year as part of one of my new goals. This journal this sketchbook is really what I used. I chose to use a sketchbook that was a little bigger just because I knew I wanted to incorporate a lot of things, and I also wanted to incorporate daily drawing into my journal. So this sketchbook I picked up in Japan. It is an art and design toned sketchbook. It's okay. It's worked all right for what I've done in it so far. I think for my next one I'd probably want something with a little bit thicker paper. So let's get started. I'm going to show you how I started out. And so some of this stuff in the beginning is not just monthlies, it's for like the entire journal. This is the index where I have the page numbers, of course, and then what I fill it in as I go, basically. And that way, if there is anything that I need to flip to, if I have business ideas or goals, I can quickly see what page it's on and flip to it. I also included a yearly overlook. It didn't come out exactly what I expected. I messed up a little bit, but it was my first ever time doing it, so I'm okay with that. And then I also took yearly notes. So I haven't kept up with this as much, but for a little while I was kind of like putting bullet points of things that I did in each month, so I kind of had a yearly overview of what was to come and what I've done. I'm going to do a quote up here, but I haven't gotten around to actually making it look all pretty. I already picked out the quote that I wanted, but that's that. And then I also set some goals for 2016. And I also included a little quote and some fun little drawings and stuff, just to make it a little more decorative. A lot of the ideas that I saw when I first started bullet journaling included kind of like an ideas and thoughts page. For one of my goals of the year was to increase my stats on all of my social media. So I included a quarterly, which is basically every single month I go through and look at my stats for each of my businesses and pages. This was my first monthly spread. A lot of the ideas that I used for my bullet journal were actually taken from Bohoberry. She was the first person I ever came across that actually did bullet journaling, and so a lot of my ideas the first month were from her, and then since then I've modified and changed them. For the month of January, I did take her monthly overview where she put all-day events, morning, afternoon, evening for each day, and then you kind of had an overview of what your month would look like. This did not work for me, and you can see I didn't even finish it the rest of the month. It just was not working. So since then I've changed, but that was my first monthly spread. I also included monthly goals, a quote of the month, which is usually meant to be something inspirational for me, and then a look at next month's calendar. This is something that also I was introduced to by Bohoberry. I've modified how it looks, but I've kept this up through other months. It's a tracker, so basically you put all of the different activities and things that you want to do, and every single day it's like a goal to try to complete all of these every single day. Obviously I'm not going to get to everything every single day, but that's what I would like to accomplish. And so then you tick off the things that you actually get done each day. it has worked to help me to keep track of how productive I've been, and it also helps me to stay motivated as well. So I really like that. This page is a combination of two different things. I have my January memories, which is basically where I fill in all of the different things that I did in the month of January that I want to remember. You know, I make little drawings and graphics and things like that with the date and what happened. This is actually a lot of fun. It's great to fill it out. What I do is during the actual month I fill it out in pencil, and then on the last couple days of the month I go back and I finish the inking it and everything and making it look nice. So it's a lot of fun to wrap up at the end of the month and think back on all the good things that you've done on the previous month. Next to it is one of a couple of different challenges that I've set for myself to complete every single day. This is the Plan With Me challenge. It's part of a Facebook group that is hosted by a couple of different people. I'll put it up on the screen because I'm gonna have to look it up. I can't remember. I know Bohoberry's in it, and two other ladies run it as well, and they set daily topics, and you can participate in the Facebook group or you can just do it on your own, but it's kind of like it's a great way to look at the bullet journaling community and to learn a little bit about it and have some fun with it. So now we're getting into basically my daily spreads, and these I'll just kind of flip through. I also, one of the other challenges I set for myself was not only the bullet journaling, but also daily drawing challenges. There are a couple that I was participating in, and then I'd pick a topic that I liked for the day and I would draw every single day. I also chose to, on my dailies, have like a daily goal checklist, and then also like what I needed to complete that day. And for a little while I was keeping track of my food, but I've gotten a little away from doing that as in my bullet journal. But that's what I've got so far. So these pages I'll just flip through because they are just kind of overviews of my day. I also included, I thought of it later to include a resources panel where if I needed to go back to a website that I wanted to, or remember something, that I could keep this. It's also where I put the daily drawing challenge topics, so I could check them off when I finish them. I also draw, obviously, Artist Explores the World. I like to draw the places that I visit, so when I'm on the road, instead of drawing a daily topic, I'll draw what I'm seeing. So this was a fly day. Now the great thing about bullet journaling is you can include basically anything you want. So if you want to include, maybe you're not much of a drawer, but you like to write, so you can include daily topics, and kind of daily prompts and things like that. I chose to make it more of a sketchbook than anything, and then also have my planning and my daily stuff as well, but that might not work for everybody. I also included, this is something I stumbled across after I had already started my bullet journal, is people who keep track of their spending. So I started keeping track of my spending and how much I'm working as well, and money that I'm making. So. So at the end of the month, something that I thought would be a good idea is to kind of have a little ending thoughts of how I think the month went, what I could do to improve, what I would like to change, kind of just my thoughts and overviews at the end of the month, just to wrap everything up and kind of reevaluate. We are now taking a look at February, and as you can see, I did modify the monthly spread. So obviously keeping an overview of the month wasn't working for me. Something that I saw was that somebody was drawing what the weather was every single day. So I kind of modified that. At the beginning of the month, I do the calendar with the dates, and then I fill it in with the weather and the temperature every single day. It's a fun little way to start kind of sketching and making different little graphics and having fun with it. I did keep the monthly goals, I did keep the quote of the month, and I did keep the other monthly overview. And the one other thing I changed was I did move the drawing topics to the bottom of the monthly spread because it was just easier and I thought it worked better. This is the modified tracker. It's pretty much the same thing. I added a couple more things that I wanted to do every day, and I took some away that weren't working for me. Another thing I added was I added a color coding system. I found that sometimes for certain things I was getting confused about which business I was completing an action for, so I added in a color coding for each of my 3 businesses that I'm working to build. And then that way I could easily have a complete overview of what I've done for each business as well as for my own personal goals and self. I really like this page and I really like this spread. I also added in books that I read each month, movies that I've watched for the first time, and video games that I've played. This helps me to keep track of what I am doing, which is one of my other goals for this year. I also decided, you noticed I used a lot of black and white throughout the journal, and then I used a little bit of gold previously in January, and at the beginning of February I decided that instead of continuing black, white, and gold, that I was going to choose a monthly color each month, and so my color for the month of February is red. This allows me to have a little bit more fun with my pages. Of course, my spending and earning money page. And then started the dailies. I forgot to put my memories page at the beginning, so I had to add that in the middle as well as the plan with me page. So I added that in. And I'm kind of changing things as I go, what I write down, what my goals are. I started doing a little bit more work on my calligraphy and penmanship for letters. And so that's the end of February. I hope that you enjoyed this overview of my bullet journal. I do plan to keep these videos up if people are interested in seeing them. If you would like to keep up with my bullet journal on a more daily basis, I do update my art Instagram, which I will type at the bottom. If you have any specific questions about bullet journaling, please let me know in the comments below. I will try to answer them either in the comments or with another video. A new travel video will be posted on Friday. As always, remember to live, love, and travel on. See you next week. Bye! And I wanted to share that as a solo woman, you can go and do fun things.